When you think of prehistoric Earth, what comes to mind? Towering giants with thunderous footsteps. For most of us, the planet's ancient past is synonymous with dinosaurs, but their reign was just one chapter in a much longer story. Imagine a world without a single one. It's hard to do, isn't it? But long, long ago, that's exactly what Earth was like. To find the origins of the dinosaurs, we must first journey back to an alien yet strangely familiar world. This was a time we call the Permian period, stretching from 299 to 252 million years ago. The very face of our planet was unrecognizable. All the continents we know, Africa, America, Asia and the others, were smashed together into one gigantic supercontinent, Pangaea. This immense landmass created extreme climates. Its vast interior was an arid desert, while the coastlines were battered by powerful monsoons. In the more temperate regions, strange forests of giant ferns and hardy conifers covered the land. The air was thick and warm. The single global ocean, Panthalassa, was teeming with life, from trilobites on the seafloor to early sharks patrolling the waters. But look closely, and you'll notice a conspicuous absence. There were no T-Rexes, no Stegosauruses. The age of dinosaurs had not yet dawned. Instead, Pangaea was ruled by a different and in some ways even more bizarre cast of characters, the synapsids. Often called mammal-like reptiles, they were actually our own distant ancestors. The most famous was Dimetrodon. Its magnificent sail wasn't for fighting but a sophisticated radiator, used to absorb the sun's heat and to show off to rivals. For millions of years, synapsids dominated. Apex predators like the fearsome saber-toothed Gorgonopsians stalked the plains. They hunted, they ate, they raised their young, unaware their time was ending. Then, disaster struck. In what is now Siberia, volcanoes raged for ages, burying a continent in lava. The atmosphere filled with toxic gases, triggering runaway global warming and turning the oceans acidic. This was the Great Dying. The worst extinction ever. It wiped out over 90% of all species, leaving the world poisoned and empty. Yet life hid, adapted, and endured. The once dominant synapsids were gone, creating a power vacuum. This empty world became an opportunity for a new group of reptiles to rise from the ashes and inherit the Earth. To understand where dinosaurs came from, we have to go way, way back. We must journey through deep time, hundreds of millions of years before they ever existed. Our story begins not on land, but in the ancient oceans, where the first sparks of life appeared. Life on Earth started in the ocean, as tiny, simple things. For eons, this was all there was. Then, in a geological blink, the Cambrian explosion filled the seas with a dazzling array of complex animals, the first architects of the great family tree. Over immense time, some evolved fins and backbones, the first fish. These were the first vertebrates, a revolutionary blueprint for all backboned animals to come. They were our very, very distant ancestors. One group developed strong, bony lobe fins, stubby leg lookalikes. These were robust and muscular, a crucial pre-adaptation for a world beyond the water. They crawled onto land, chasing food or escaping bigger fish. This was a huge moment in history, the first tentative steps onto a new frontier. First amphibians lived between water and land, still tied to it for reproduction. From them evolved reptiles, who broke that final tie. With protective eggs and scaly skin to prevent drying out, reptiles were free to conquer the dry interiors of the supercontinent Pangaea. Reptiles split. One branch, the synapsids, our own distant relatives, ruled the Permian period. The other, the diapsids, quietly thrived in their shadow. This group would give rise to lizards, snakes, crocodiles, and dinosaurs. Then, the Great Dying wiped out over 90% of all species. After this global apocalypse, the dominant synapsids were gone. A group of diapsids, called archosaurs, seized their chance. With competitors gone, the world was theirs for the taking. And one lineage of archosaurs was about to change how reptiles moved. Instead of a sprawling gait, their legs rotated, to move directly underneath their bodies. A simple shift in posture, but it would change everything. This upright stance was more efficient, allowing for greater speed and endurance. The stage was set for the first dinosaurs. The world after the Great Dying was a crucible of evolutionary innovation. With most of life wiped out, vast ecological niches lay vacant, sparking a fierce biological arms race where new forms of life vied for dominance on a strange, empty stage. Among the survivors, one group of reptiles, the archosaurs, or ruling lizards, began to thrive. they rapidly diversified across the single arid supercontinent of Pangaea, splitting into two major lineages, one leading to modern crocodiles and the other to pterosaurs, birds, and the dinosaurs themselves. A crucial evolutionary experiment began to unfold. While many reptiles retained a sprawling gait, some archosaurs pulled their legs directly underneath their bodies. This was a biomechanical revolution. It allowed for more efficient breathing while moving and supported the body's weight with bone, conserving energy. This new posture unlocked sustained speed and agility, transforming them into dynamic, fast-moving animals. This upright stance is the key feature that defines dinosaurs. But the first to adopt it were the near dinosaurs, or dinosauromorphs. These weren't giants. The earliest were small, often no bigger than a house cat. They were swift, darting through the undergrowth as nimble chasers of insects and small lizards, carving out a new predatory niche. Fossil evidence for these pioneers is scarce. Finds like Nyasasaurus from Tanzania, dating to 243 million years ago, offer a tantalizing glimpse. Known only from a few bones, its anatomy places it incredibly close to the dinosaur family tree. The first undisputed dinosaurs would appear 12 million years later. Around 231 million years ago, in what is now South America, they finally stepped onto the world stage. Creatures like Eoraptor, the dawn plunderer, and the larger carnivore Herrerasaurus were among the very first. Though not yet giants, they possessed all the key features for success: the upright stance, an open hip socket for a powerful stride, and other precise bone traits. Being bipedal was a game-changer, freeing their forelimbs to become grasping hands to seize prey. These quick, adaptable hunters were the humble beginning of an extraordinary dynasty that would rule for over 150 million years. How do we know all of this? The answers are in fossils, bones turned to stone over deep time, found by patient fieldwork, excavated with tiny tools, and studied in labs for shape, size, and motion. Teeth reveal diet, legs reveal gait and speed. Every bone is a clue to life long gone. Comparing fossils through time, we map out how dinosaurs evolved. Small early dinosaurs eventually gave rise to giants like Tyrannosaurus rex. After the Triassic, dinosaurs diversified and ruled every continent for 150 million years. Giants reshaped landscapes, clearing forests, spreading seeds, driving plant defenses. Competition made them bigger, faster, and smarter. Their story is our story. Evolution, ecosystems, and extinction writ large. And dinosaurs never fully died. One small feathered lineage survived. We see them every day. We call them birds.